Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 5 of The Duel. It's your host, Dean Her BJJ, and
5, aka Jules.
So we had a great week of gaming in terms of laying back and not so much releases going on, to say the least. But, I mean, Jules, for me, I was just able to catch up on some games that I've been putting on the back burner. I'm about to platinum one of the worst games I've ever played of all time, Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, how was your week of gaming in terms of everything?
I would say a lot more gaming than catching up with like news and stuff. Been grinding Rainbow Six Siege, getting back into the ranked play. Finally, Platinum Expedition. I know I've talked about that game for like the longest now. I'm finally done with it. Yeah, and get back to some more story games and more competitive play.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Rainbow Six is just something that's, it's been around 10 years. Noted that it's Siege X. I stopped playing Siege because it was just getting too wild for me, and I could only attend so much attention to one game. But I'm happy. I saw some gameplay that you were doing today. I'm like, it looks good.
Yeah,
It's very competitive, and there's so many abilities that I feel like if you missed out on any season, you are like 20 seasons behind. So it's not.
No, you could definitely catch up. I mean, Siege X it's still Siege. I mean, I feel like they didn't change much. It's just they fixed the audio. I'm gonna put quotations. If you know, you know. They fixed the audio. But better fidelity, I guess. Like the game just looks a little bit better. They changed some of the maps, and of course you have new operation.
Yeah, I mean, they always fix the audio just like how we're fixing the audio as we're recording. Hey, us and Ubisoft might be on the same page when it comes to fixing stuff.
Probably, man.
Ubisoft made it, by the way.
Right? Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yes, God bless. That's all I gotta say. Because after playing Outlaws, I mean, look, the way my camera is right now is the same way that the motion graphics for Star Wars Outlaws was. You would think that the game is 4K, 8K. No, it's literally how my camera quality is right now, which isn't the best. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Spotify, you'll notice a big theme. But we had a late episode today, so
can you explain why we had a late episode?
Yeah,
definitely
will. So we had a great week. I got engaged yesterday to the love of my life. It was a whole preparation that has been going on for months. I was stressed out. I feel like I just got ran over by a train in terms that the stress has been relieved, so now your body's oozing out. According to a lot of the guys, I fell down at least like 10 times because there's too much drinking. But guess what? We didn't drive home. We Ubered home. We were very responsible adults, and I'm so grateful to have love of my life with me. And she said yes to me. I thought she was gonna say no. But I mean, hey, every human has their choice, and I'm just grateful. My significant other said yes.
No, man,
I love Taylor more than anything in the whole universe. So
we'll definitely say congrats.
Congrats. Thank you, and I'm glad to be with you. We're talking our gaming and talking with the fans, and
yeah, man.
Listening.
Let's kick it off.
Let's kick it off with something that we gotta choose wisely. I mean, we got Borderlands 4, so the big thing is I know you have more details with this, but it's going to be available September 12th. Pre-orders are available, and I know we put choose bundle wisely. Can you tell me like what's going on with this thing? That I saw some backlash, but just kind of didn't understand what was happening.
Well, Borderlands 4 is out. There's not a lot of backlash around gameplay or the mechanics or anything coming back, but we had some skeptics happening in the beginning where this collector edition, the bundle of the collector edition came out. So you get your figurines, you get I guess digital collectibles, you get a map, you get all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
However, you don't get the game. So people are like, yo, wait, I'm gonna spend $100 on the collector edition of a game and then still have to spend the $70 price tag of the actual game. Like it felt scummy and scammy. And they didn't even say that. It was like in the fine print.
So you basically going to spend like $200 and like something for a game.
Yeah, just about basically. I mean, usually collect edition, you will get the game plus everything else.
Sure.
This wasn't. So that kind of put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. But it is Borderlands. We had Borderlands 4. Borderlands is back. I'm excited about this. I'm hyped because Borderlands 1 and 2 are probably my favorite games of all time, especially the first one. Borderlands 3, it kind of fell off for me. Tiny Tina, the remaster was great. The prequel was cool. Handsome Jack Collection was cool. So I'm excited about 4.
So I know that on Steam they gave away Borderlands 2 for free. I downloaded it just to add to the library, but I was never crazy into Borderlands because for some reason, I think it just didn't appeal to me. or because the whole multiplayer realm of it, I didn't have so many people to play with. I remember in high school, we had one of our friends at high school, from my high school, because I know we went to different high schools. He was the one playing, but he was so far ahead of me that was just not the same. And there was so many things you could do. It's a looter shooter, and there's
You know what, Borderlands?
that you could do.
Borderlands is, especially like the OG, like Borderlands 1 and 2. That's your like OG like couch co-op like looter shooters, a lot of RNG, huge worlds. There's a million like abilities and weapons and guns and all the things you could do. I remember like legit I spent a weekend, like a whole weekend just couch co-op with like my cousin and just beating the entirety of Borderlands 1 from start to finish. Like it's like split screen, start to finish, beating the whole entire.
So is it like one of these like
again?
long games that we have now where it's, 90 hours or 100 hours to beat? Like back then it was.
If you do, I would say like if you do just the story, like the main story, it wasn't that long. But then you also have like side missions, stuff you grind. I mean, and then if you play with somebody who's also like you have a good chemistry like gaming with, and like you know how each other works, the game flies by. But and I don't like it wasn't long to where like it bored you after X amount of hours. It wasn't too short either. Like I think it was a good like playtime. Borderlands 2 was a little bit longer, but it still played very smooth. And then I don't know, 3 just it didn't grab my attention that much, or the prequel. But they were still great. Like I still enjoyed them. So I'm excited about what they do for 4. And then of course the Tiny Tina DLC, that was like top tier for me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I always wanted to. I don't want to say I wanted to get into Borderlands because then I'm just a biased person. Well, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna get into that. But yeah, we only have so many hours in the day. But it's something that I definitely keep an eye on, I would say. But would I dive into it? Nah, I'm probably just gonna end up watching you share play it just because to play the other 3 and so forth to continue the story, even though if each one has their own story. Is that like the main thing, or
there's
is it a continuation?
I mean, it has its own story, but they all connect, and there's a continuation that happens between each of them and each of the Vault Hunters and what happens. 4, I'm not sure about where they're taking the story yet so far. But I mean, try it out. We could dive into it. Yeah. It's a classic couch co-op, so you can see what's.
Yeah, and I remember I think months ago or last year it was like somebody who was like terminally ill got to play the game first, like because that was like his dying, so he was able to play it, and I think he said good things about it just because Borderlands is something that's been around since I want to say like 2010, 2011. So it's some time, and there was the 2K's best games because aside from NBA 2K, I want to put WWE up there. This is like their
it's number 1.
I would say.
I think back in Borderlands 2, I think it was Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 1, there was a kid, I think it's like Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he was like, he had his own little like Easter egg and had like a little weapon. I think there was something else named after him because like Borderlands is like one of his favorite games, and the devs, they throw a million Easter eggs, they throw a million like things towards like other games, like they're really deep in there. So like it was cool like seeing that like he had his own like a commemoration, like his own thing like for him in the game because he loved the game just so much. It was great to see.
No, dude, I mean, look, I'm supporting it because it just seems that everyone's so happy to see it come back, and seeing those come generations. Oh my god, my dude, this is how you know I'm tired with like everything that's happened so far. So sorry for my words, everybody. But continue on to that, like showing love to their gamers and all that. What happens next is our final preview of Death Stranding 2, DS2, just to make everything easier. So if you didn't know before I dive in, because this is our final preview, they would, if it's your birthday, because they ask you in number 1 your birthday, and then when you go back to the home base, it was a cake that would just say happy birthday on it. And it was cool because if you search it, they had a it basically had the video on it, like the cake looks so real, and it's like the same cake. It's not like they made it through the server. It was they took the photos, they did everything about it, and like the cake is there. So that's why they always ask to put your birthday. You get a cake inside your room on the day it's your birthday. But now I hope we get our cake again, because then I'll modify the date for the early access, or depending on what day I'm gonna play, because I got so many things going on this week. But we're in our final preview. okay, I'm gonna say that this is I said last week my pick for game of the year was gonna be Expedition 33. I lied, guys. I think this is gonna be it because the more I watch the gameplay and the countdown and hearing things that Kojima changed things because he didn't want this game to be too mainstream. He didn't want to be so fun that it's a big realm of what's happening. He wants it to be very specific and unique, and he does that all his games. It's all a unique game. If you haven't seen, if you want to dive into this game or just want to know what the game is going to continue about, IGN and PlayStation on their YouTube dropped a very detailed video of all the events that led up to where we're at now. And there is going to be more action, I realize, because due to the last game, because what would happen if you killed somebody in the game determined a big part that it could mess up your game and cause you to do a whole bunch of things. So we're guaranteed more action, which is the cool part, because you play Metal Gear Solid, you play any of Kojima's games, it's the action in there is so fun, whether it be punching somebody, picking up an AR and just blasting bad guys away. So the engine that he's using too, I think is Decima, if I said it correctly, is one of the best engines right now. The graphics look amazing. When you move, the music plays. When you stop moving, the music stops. So this is going to be something that I think we're going to see a lot of love throughout this week. But I'm ready for it, guys.
I think so.
This is my final preview of it.
Death Stranding is definitely one of your favorite games of all time. Like, you just can't stop talking about Death Stranding. Like, even from the first one, like, you fell in love with the thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's something that you knew it was going to be special just because Kojima is a very special creator. And it's after not realizing, like, when I was younger that he was the one who made the whole Metal Gear. But what really got me was when PT came out, which was the Silent Hills whole trailer teaser, and playing that, and then Norman Reedus, who's the main character in Death Stranding, was going to be the main character for Silent Hills. I knew this was going to be something that was going to blow things away. So we were all under the impression that this was going to be a horror game, but he took it a whole complete different direction and kind of just changed the landscape in gaming terms, where it's not about just run, gun, shoot. It's about enjoying the atmosphere and connecting through the game with others. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of Easter eggs to Solid Snake, Metal Gear, because those are his babies. If it wasn't for him,
I'd definitely say, like, I need to go back to DS1. Like, I'd go back and play it because I haven't finished it. But I need to get the whole entirety of because, dude, like, I did the whole opening in like the first 2 chapters, and it's very atmospheric. It feels like a movie. Feel like you want to be involved inside of it. It's like you said, it's not a bunch of action. So I do want to catch up to this, especially with this release of DS2.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best. Like I say, the best thing is just definitely playing watching the YouTube video or on IGN or PlayStation, just because you want to just get to the point of the story, because there's so many things. Like, there is side things that happen, but they did a great job to understand. And there's been a few TikTokers that explain the little finer details of certain entities and what's the purpose for this and that. And when I watched, I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, that meant, like, I just remembered it from my side of things. But if this is a game you hear great reviews and you're like, screw it, like, let me try it, do yourself a favor, just watch the IGN video, watch the PlayStation video on YouTube, because you just want to get into it. It's worth it if you're gonna play at a different time, DS1. But if you just want to get into DS2 because all the great reviews are gonna come out, just do yourself that favor. It's got my seal of approval. And yeah, so as we're waiting for that to come out, what's gonna come out in the following week, Jules, is something I believe that you love very dearly, and that is the beloved Skate franchise. And I've heard things on both sides, I mean, about Skate. It's been around for a while.
All right, so Skate, that I would say go back to the OGs, like the initial Skate. Loved by many fans. Remember, like, the whole X Sports games, we had a bunch of Tony Hawk games that came out, the Dave Merritt games. You know, X Sports took over for a while. So when initially Skate came out, like the way you play the game. The twin sticks to do the movements. It felt realistic. It felt you had the pro skaters, the stories. Skate 1, Skate 2. I think arguably Skate 2 is like the best skate that's out there. Skate 3 is beloved by everybody because it's amazing. And now we're up to this one, which is not Skate 4, but they're gonna rebrand it as Skate.
Yeah.
Not the OG, the new one. This is something everybody from this like cult fan base has wanted for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
However, and we've been waiting for like a very long time to Skate 3. Like, yo, because we can't get it anywhere else. Like, you can't download anymore unless you go back and like get it back on console. Like, it's gone. So it's like Skate 4 is not what the fans. I don't know. It's very much give and take. Okay, so Skate 4 is gonna be free to play, or Skate as they say. It's gonna be free to play, which is cool. No, everybody can download it, just play free access. However, there's gonna be no story. There's no story at all. There's gonna be a bunch of
story for I forgot for number 2 is like you were trying to get signed by like sponsorships.
So
like that, right?
So Skate 1 was you were like this up and coming skater, and you get your name, you get sponsorships like that. That was Skate 1. Skate 2 was you were like locked up. You used to be a famous skater, and then you got locked up. You came out of jail, and then you're building up your reputation again, right? Hitting spots, getting sponsorships, getting other skaters, the whole thing. Skate 3 was there was just like this skater's paradise, like there because Skate 2 you used to get chased by security guards when you hit spots, right? You had to like uncap like certain railings that were capped by security, like you couldn't skate everywhere. Skate 3 was like skater's paradise. Everything is open, and it started off like you doing these big contests, and then you like bail in the contest, like crack your head or something. You wake up, and then you have to redo everything all over again. It's interesting because Skate 3 was like a skater's world, it's open paradise. You can do whatever you want. There was no security, no nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then they had like teams, so you could build a team, build a board brand. There was like a bunch of like community maps you can make. Like it was very much like into the community. This one came out 4. I think they just made like this free to play open world like skate game. Yeah. It again like it's a hit or miss because like we want this for a very long time. However, it's been in pre-alpha for who knows how long. Like they've been teasing pre-alpha for forever.
Yeah.
And since they first teased the game to now they're about to announce it, it looks exactly the same. If I would say it looks a bit worse. Like their biggest like update to us was we got baggy pants. Okay. Your graphics don't look any better. We have no pro skaters. There's no story mode. And then the big one that a lot of people are not going to really like, it's online only. Which means if the servers ever shut down, then that's it. You will never get it ever again. However, there's going to be a bunch of microtransactions inside of it, and you're going to pay for outfits and pay for stuff. Sure, when new maps come out and the world expands, that'll be free because it's a free-to-play game. However, we don't have like the essence of Skate, the fandom of Skate, like what the story used to be. You play a Tony Hawk game, you see your favorite skaters, your favorite pros. There'd be an actual story. There's nothing here anymore. So it's a lot of give and take. Something you love, but it doesn't come out the way you want it to. It's been development for a long time. You hear about it, so we'll see when it comes out. But right now, I'm skeptical about it. But everybody might have the different.
Didn't you send me like an Instagram or something? Like some guy was like talking about Skate, or like he was kind of like bashing.
Probably saying you a million Instagrams about that because again, like. No, like when it first got announced, everybody got very excited about it. Yes, again, it was that's loved so much. And then it's like, hey, it's in development. You could play test it, do beta testing, give reviews, this and that. All right, cool. And then for how long it's been in pre-alpha, and then we get to beta or the actual game, it doesn't look like any progress was actually made. It looks, I don't know, to like me personally, I love Skate 2. Skate 2 felt realistic. There was like it just the way the game flowed, like you felt like you were in the street skating. It didn't feel very like cartoony. Skate 3 was a little bit more like polished and was a little brighter. It wasn't as rugged, which it was cool. I love that. This one, it looks like if Fortnite made Skate, and not good, not in a good way either.
Yeah, Fortnite's like graphics are kind of great, but
it's very like
cartoon.
I don't say like it's cartoonish. Yeah.
Yeah. You want the realistic ones, and I know. I think Tony Hawk's doing another game, or my.
Yeah, shout out to Tony Hawk Pro Skater because 3+4 remake is coming back out, and I pre-ordered it, so I have like the early access.
And Bam
The demos I made. Yeah,
Okay.
the Mandara's back in it. All your favorite pro skaters are back in it. All your original maps that you love to play, remastered, revamped. Because it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. As much as you loved it, is back how it was. Like I played 1+2 when it got remastered and came out. That's one. I'm just missing one trophy to platinum that game. Loved it because I loved the original.
What's the trophy?
To get to level 100, and I'm at like level 98, but the level grinding takes forever in that game.
You just I feel like you just definitely like you could do this like in a night or something. Like you just gotta.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna have to like grind XP forever.
So what I usually do whenever it's like those trophies that it's like, oh, it's a grind or whatever, I always like, because my ADD is so crazy, like on my second monitor I have like either a movie or something playing.
Yeah,
I just have it
basically.
I'm just watching a movie while I'm doing this stupid grind.
What?
I think I did it for like,
you wanna
where I forgot.
To that one was like, all right, Skater XL came out, and then Session came out, and Skater
again.
So Skater XL was like this like skateboarder simulator. And it was, oh man, I'm like the name of the studio, but it was an indie studio. They worked very closely. I don't know if they worked very close with the barracks, but they had like a lot of skaters, like from the barracks. Like just in it. It was great. And it still gets modded. You could add a lot of stuff to it. It came out on P4, Steam.
Yes.
On Xbox and stuff. It was cool. I platinum Skater XL. Skater XL was a grind, but that was a platinum I enjoyed. And then Session came out afterwards. And then you have like the Session versus Skater XL debate all the time. And it's like they're both skateboarding simulators. However, Session is the more realistic side. And then Skater XL was like, oh, here. Like it was like I don't know. I would say it's like it's not as realistic. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I just think the big thing that's going to be a hard time with Skate is because Tony Hawk is kind of back and he has a lot of the skaters, to say the least, like with him. If I'm not mistaken, like Rob Dyrdek was like a part of Skate 2 or something.
It was part of Skate 2, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like you turn into this well, I don't want to say like NBA, EA, like NBA Live thing where it's like
here's the heartbreak. At least for me, the heartbreak is EA changed, because EA is the developer and they changed. They're like,
and it's not
from EA. Yeah, bro. From EA big games, like when we had games that developers actually love to make and play, if those games are fun, you can see that in the initial Skate games. Then EA, free to play, microtransactions. You're gonna have a battle pass in the Skate game. Like, bro, like what are we doing?
It's like a battle pass can kind of help, and then it doesn't help because it's like once again
it doesn't.
But the big thing I feel that's helped out lately is that those battle passes that
it's legit,
and you get to still attribute towards that. Like I believe Fortnite does that, if I'm not mistaken.
Every single, if it makes sense in the game, I'm not mad.
Yeah,
Fortnite, it makes sense. I'm not mad at that. COD started doing it. And I'm on the fence about it. Whatever, but like battle passes came out, and that's been like a thing. Like, because we used to have loot boxes every game, and loot box. I get it; it's something to grab attention, but then loot boxes became like controversial because it was like gambling at one point.
Well, because of Star Wars, which is one of EA's main thing. That was like a big thing where
that happened around too.
But I feel like the only way to really make money in this game, just expect a battle pass from Skate.
But not really. Oh, of course, if it's free to play, right? But fans at least of Skate were like, we didn't want it free to play. We wanted the story mode and our pro skater, just like Skate 2, Skate 3, and put a $60 price tag on it or whatever it is, and selling the copies will make your profit. But then it's one of those things where it's like everybody wants to be live service now.
Yeah,
live service games kind of die, and then what?
Yeah, I just
like that's
the hot take is oh my gosh, I almost lost my train of thought with this one. That it's the big thing with skating. I mean, the skating community more than anything. It's not so mainstream that it was back in the day where skate was, because you had the MTV where the the Ryan Sheckler shows, like those.
I will argue
things, like that's what help the story.
Yes,
What
but
story?
I would argue say it's more popular now. Skating is way more mainstream now than what it used to be. But again, you did have all the shows. You had like X Games, Robin Dudek, the Ryan Sheckler show. You had all that stuff,
Circus,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. All the action sports stuff. But because of like social media and like everybody's Instagram and like you have it on your phone, it's not on TV. You can see a lot. You can see a lot from the community, and like there's like kids like 4 or 6 doing shit that you've seen in X Games.
Yeah.
Like dudes that are like 20 plus. Like it's like
So it's like if they
has grown up.
story mode, I feel like then, because so that was my take, is that like, because for a story mode, it's like, yeah, everyone's on social media. If they were to focus like your story on Skate, you were making a game. Skate's story is you're this up and coming skater. You're just trying to grow your social media, because this is what we all care about at the end of the day. We care about having millions of followers and billions of views. And if they were to do that for their game, it would be great. But when it comes to Skate 2 at that time, once again, it was just about, it kind of focused on those MTV shows, and the TV culture has completely changed. So that's why it was my take. Like, it's not, it doesn't feel as popular because those shows aren't really looking at. Sadly, I don't have skating TikTok or.
I would say it's one of those things, right? So let's take it to like the other front. Let's say I make an NFL game, right? But none of your favorite players are in there. You have no teams.
You really don't, yeah.
It's everybody just doing whatever they want to do.
I'm just
and you can't really compare it to the same, but it's like, dude, like when you play skate game, I mean, unless you're playing like a skating simulator, right? You're playing a game like Skate or Tony Hawk. You have no pros, no actual story, nothing. Like it feels empty. It just feels like it's just, all right, here you go. You guys want this open space, have fun with it. There's no real nuance to it. You just do whatever you want to do. The community's gonna build however they're gonna build, and then we'll just pay you microtransactions. So it's like there's no unlock thing. There's none. Like back in the day, you play skate games, you play games back in the day. It's like you do challenges, you unlock stuff. You do this, you unlock stuff. Now it's like, just buy it.
Yeah. So my idea that I just came with is definitely if it's gonna, I feel like they're just trying to aim it to be a sandbox more than a live service.
That's legit.
To build your own things.
Combine them.
Yeah.
Come on, it's a sandbox that is live service.
Yeah, so you're just gonna see some ridiculous courses, and that's their kind of way of, okay, we made the server, we got you the generic functions of the game, so now this is gonna be you guys making a sandbox. But like I said, I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna sign up for this playtest.
Yeah, like
for your review on it, but yeah, I haven't played this.
I would say that this is very like controversial. Maybe not. The last like action sports game that was out besides Tony Hawk, 1+2, 3+4. Besides those, Riders Republic. That game came out, and I was like, that was Ubisoft, and it was an action sports game that was actually like, oh, you actually dive into the action sports, BMX, biking, skateboarding, all that stuff. Like everything was there, and it was cool for a while. And then the same thing, like because it was a live service, somewhat of a sandbox, it just died. That's it. Like they just pushed microtransactions and all this stuff. That like it just ended up dying. There was a story. The story was cool, but it was very short. And then it was like, all right, here's the open world. You do whatever you want to do. And then you have like the cult fan that like plays it and everything. But then it's like there's no nuance to it afterwards. Like that you can feel that like the devs just made like a live service game just to make money off of. That's about it. There's no story. There's no love.
At the end of the day, you got to pay those people for the live service to keep the service up, and then like, oh, we ran out of money and we're gonna shut the service down. I mean, look at X Define. So it's yeah. I think we might have some trouble with Skate because these live services are, it's a very
the only
road. It's not.
I don't know. My take is the only live service game that's doing it amazing and it will take over is Fortnite and Epic. Of course, they're actually doing it the right way. Their battle pass system is doing it the right way. The live service, and I don't play Fortnite, but I recognize gamers like they're doing it the right way. They're listening to fans. There actually is a story that is developing through all these seasons. You have all these other game modes. They have a sandbox mode. Like they know what they're doing. Like if you want to take notes from there and take the ones that make sense. Like, don't do the smart notes and try to reiterate it to where it ends up being BS. Like, for real.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. Now it's much bigger than Skate with me.
100%. No, this is we could go into a whole realm of it, and luckily that demo is getting the playtest.
We'll see.
Okay, on the second. So go on the second. So
Well, let's talk about
what we're gonna
games that we love. How about that?
games that we love.
Yeah, games that we love, like that's coming out soon, and games that we see that's made with love, and developers love to do it.
You pick one.
Okami.
Oh, we're talking about Capcom. So no, we're going to our next title. No, because what I was thinking is I was gonna lead you with because July 2nd is that and is the playtest. So what Capcom loves to do, because now we're in the point that the each company is having their own showcase, because we used to have E3. Like, these young kids will never understand how exciting it was for you. Knew school was done because E3 was coming out, and those demos would happen then. So now everyone's doing their own showcase. So now it's Capcom's turn. And before we go to Okami, I'm predicting, to start off things, like for Capcom Showcase, they're looking to discuss Street Fighter 6, Resident Evil 9, Pragmata, which is their new IP, and Monster Hunter, but other games as well. They're not, they're going to talk about these the most, but you're also going to get those name drops of Okami,
Onimusha.
yeah, all those games that they don't get as much love because they're not as popular as these four that are on the ticker. But we expect.
What are you excited for?
Obviously, at the Resident Evil, just without a doubt, because I saw something on Twitter where they did do a demo for the last two when it came to Village and 7, and I remember I saw like the live stream for Village, that shortly after they dropped the demo for you to play it, and it's like a small clip. It kind of plays into the story, but it's not so much of a spoiler. They called it a different name, and then they just let you be immersed into it to kind of get an understanding, like, this is where you're at. So when you play number 7, you're in the Baker house, and it's very eerie. You're getting these collectibles. You're kind of getting freaked out. It's a dirty house in the swamps of Louisiana. And then when you go to Village, you're in the castle, and you get to do a little bit of action going on. But once again, it's all about getting the feeling of understanding your setting that you're going to be placed in. Now we're going to get the 9 demo, because like I said, each one came out with a demo. I believe for even the 2 remake, we all came out with a demo. So I'm expecting demo on the 26th, especially if, once again, to talk about earlier topic, if DS2 is coming out, they're going to sneak one above them, be like, oh yeah, Kojima, like, you did, like, you think you're the only one who's going to sneak up on us? Like, you released Death Stranding 2 so much earlier because Metal Gear was going to come out, and we didn't expect that. We got something to, at the end of the day,
that breakup was a bad breakup.
Oh, dude, it's
hard. The Kojima Capcom thing, like, it was Kojima and Konami.
Yeah. But they, like I said, it's all competition. They know people are gonna play this game, but Resident Evil was one of the biggest things. So but here's my wish for it is I hope that we get a bigger, more detailed trailer, because we just got a glimpse. We got the screenshot. We got the news. It's first person, third person. I'm hoping that one of the main characters come out, because Grace Ashcroft, even though she's the daughter of one of the side games, not from the main storylines for Resident Evil, but we'll find out her more in the game. But there's always a major character comes. In number 7 at the end, Chris Redfield came. In Village, when it came to the trailer, Chris Redfield came, and he looked like he turned on everybody. So we still want those main characters involved, because they do play a big part. You shouldn't just like kill them off unless they properly get killed off. So that's my prediction when it comes to for that game in terms.
Are you excited about Street Fighter 6?
I promised my cousin after all this, and I was talking to him at my engagement, that I was like, I promise you, I'll do it, because he says it's easier. I didn't want to be that loser to use the modern control, because I understand it's like easier. It's 2 buttons, you hold the right and R1 and you kind of do a combo. But he was telling me that other streamers, like it's Tyler, I believe, the dude who does League of Legends, he was jumping into a Street Fighter competition, but he was using modern controls and he was getting like really good at it. And my coach is always telling me, he's like, "Yo, like, don't worry, like, just play the game. Like, you'll get eventually."
So I'll give you a hot take. Mods controls definitely makes it way easier. 100%. I give you that one.
But there's even ones that's a mode. Modern is the middle. It's classic, modern, and then
there's like it's like assist
controls are down. And
no, legit. It's like that. It's like an assist mode. You just press one button and it just does everything for you. I can give you this though. Like, you know how we are with Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
You know how we are with Tekken. Street Fighter 6, I am hard, bro. I am bad at Street Fighter 6 because it's something about Street Fighter and Brawlhalla. Yeah. I don't understand hitboxes at all. Like, those hitboxes make no sense to me. And I played Street Fighter 6 for a while. I was learning class controls. I did the beginning with modern controls, but I didn't like it. But the open like world aspect on it was cool. But dude, when I was playing tournaments, like, this people are nice Street Fighter 6, and like, I never played a lot of Street Fighter. Like, I played the classics, but not like competitively.
Yeah,
dude, I don't understand hitboxes on that competitive level and the counters and stuff like that. Like, that one's hard. But dude, if you get nice at it, you'll fall in love. Like, it's a fun game.
It's the same thing like any game where it's like it deals with like a lot of practice and hours. But I'm glad that they're not going into like the new years because they're still continuing this game. So it's not too late to jump on. You just got to put your time in. There's going to be people that put 1,000 hours already, just like they would do for any other game that's been out for X amount of years. They didn't, this game has been out for 2 years now. You look at Mortal Kombat and they already gave up. But Street Fighter's like, no, we got a whole nother year coming for you guys. So
Tekken's still holding strong, man. Tekken's still holding strong.
And these games are 2 years, and Mortal Kombat's the only one who dipped out. And by the way, I played Mortal Kombat the other day, and I got reminded of why I deleted. It's horrible, dude. It was like it's just so stupid. And
when it came out, we loved it.
Yeah, and it was like the power-ups and all this like stupid stuff with Omni-Man. And like, I understand he's one of the most read, but it was like, once again, I jumped into a ranked pitch because I'm rusty. And I'm like trying to get I forgot some combos, like I dropped it.
But
like,
Omni-Man was your favorite character. What happened?
He was, but then I just
besides Johnny,
I just forgot the combo, because after a while you're just like, oh yeah, like how did I do that combo? I'm like, oh no, I dropped it. And then it gives, once again, you give somebody in Mortal Kombat 2 seconds, just 2 seconds, and they do that combo, you're dead. Like, it was that quick. I think Street Fighter, you have the button to parry, you have the button to block, and you have things that you could grab. There's a whole bunch of things. I just need to take my time and dive into it. I think I can do it, but once again, there's just so many games that are coming out.
Doesn't be a lot.
It's a lot. And then you look at this next game that they have coming out for Capcom, and it's Pragmata, which is this IP that's been talked about literally since PS5 was announced. And I won't forget about the trailer with it being like an astronaut and just looking at Earth. So we got to see that, and so it just looks very unique. That's all I gotta say. It's not a horror game because they already have. They're not gonna add another horror game when they already have one coming out. So this is like a very action, sci-fi adventure.
Yeah, between Pragmata and Monster Hunter, I'm like, I mean, the newest Monster Hunter that recently came out, did you hear like their player base died out super fast?
It dies out, but it's, once again, it's a lot of people I hear buy the game thinking like it's this whole thing.
Yeah, because it's a loved game.
Yeah. But it's the same thing you're doing. You find the monsters, you find the bounties, you kill them, you do it again, and you just do it again and again and again. It's not like there's a new mission that comes around. No, you're just fighting monsters, you're collecting their hide, and you're going on to the next one. That's where a lot of the newer fan base just didn't understand that. I'm like, dude, that's Monster Hunter for you. Like, there's no, you're not gonna get this raid mission that you would if you
I mean,
amount of games.
I never dived that deep into it. It's like, I've played the classic Monster Hunter games. I dived a little bit into these, but I was like, it's not my type of game.
I felt bad because my cousin bought me not this one, the Wild, but the one before that, and we played like, I think, like 3 hours. Poor guy, dude. He buys so much games, and I was just like, why?
But I also have like friends and family who also played Monster Hunter, and they put hours into that game. And they get far into it, but like me, I just never like really got into it. But recently I saw like a stat sheet that like 90% of like or like 85% of the player base from like launch to up now is just completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's just
I was like, whoa, that's a big loss.
it's a game that's just literally repetitive, so you can't expect much. But the graphics do look great. But once again, you're just fighting monsters, you're hunting, and that's it. You're not. There isn't anything drastic about it, but it is a loved franchise by Capcom. And
So
the other ones, like you were talking about Okami, and then I forgot the other one.
yeah, Okami, like, because again, Capcom makes some of my favorite games, and seeing Okami 2 come out, I'm like, I'm hyped for that one. Because Okami, I love that game as a child. Like that game, if you want a game you can sit back, chill, not stress, but it's beautiful. The story's beautiful, the gameplay's beautiful. Okami's where to go. Like that's one game that I fell in love.
So when I was playing Okami 1, I got on the deck. I did not know that the intro, like to know what was going on, was like easily like almost 30 minutes of hitting X. So I'm at the dealership because I'm getting an oil change, and I was like, all right, like I'm just gonna play some Okami, and I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, yo, dude, when am I gonna play this game? I'm like, just I get it, the story, the sword. This guy took out the sword, the demons came back, then the wolf. So it was like a good way to do it. But I'm like, bro, I want to play this game. Like, come on, dude. Like you couldn't, but
that's one of those things where it's like the intro, yes, is gonna feel slow, but you really need to like read and learn what's going on. Because I remember being a kid when I first played Okami, and there was one level that I was just hard stuck. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I was completely lost. I was like, why am I locked out? Like what's happening? I felt stuck.
and this is
And I was like,
too.
this is pre-YouTube anything. So I'm like freaking out. I can't figure it out for weeks on end, loading on my save file. I'm like, all right, I started a new save file and I keep getting stuck in the same place. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then went back to it like years later. I was like, oh, it's because I didn't read this one thing. I wasn't paying attention to the story. I completely missed this whole thing. It was like, you can do this. You just legit just have to pay attention. Like, it's a beautiful game, but like read the dialogue, read the character dialogue, and you can progress so far in that game. It's great.
Yeah, I'll definitely give. Like I said, I haven't played on my Steam Deck in quite some time, but I'm definitely overdue for that.
And then Onimusha,
Oh yeah, Onimusha. I haven't heard it until you.
it's a sleeper.
What is it? It's not. You said it's not like Resident Evil. It was like something related.
No, so the initial Onimusha was like it had like the static cams like Onimusha, like as you move through levels. It wasn't really hard, but it was like it was a samurai game basically.
Yeah.
You go and you fight demons. You could your sword like collect the souls. The demon lord like stole like the princess or whoever it was, and you went to go save them. Like your typical hero thing, but just the way it went about, like the horror elements that was built into it, the characters, the yokais, like everything. It was that I think the remaster when it comes out, that's gonna be like my next platinum. I definitely play against my next platinum. It has to be.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm definitely gonna be watching you on that one. Once again, I have to like kind of get a little bit of a vision and see it. And I've been paying attention to lots of things when it comes to hours of game.
I would recommend just play remasters.
Yeah,
play remasters, play the classics.
yeah, because there's only so much time in the day. Like I've very like been picky with my time, so it's tough. But I know like Capcom does a certain amount of time with their games. They don't do these 300-hour games. They do 40-something hours. They make it reasonable. You know, people work at the end of the day. They know their player base. This isn't a competitive. They're looking to make beautiful stories. Street Fighter's their main competitive one because it's a fighting game, and fighting games are meant to be played online or on the couch. So that's the one thing I love about Capcom. And if they could listen to me, stop making any Resident Evil multiplayers. It does not work. It doesn't work. Reverse does not work. Umbrella Corps does not work. Any multiplayer Resident Evil based games, just kill them already. There's no need to waste money and production. Save the dollar for the next game. It doesn't work. I'm sorry. You guys have not mastered that. I love the games.
So
Stop with the multiplayer Resident Evils.
Can we talk about our favorites that we had so far?
Yeah.
As far as stories?
As far as stories, and we got one of the most important things to this podcast is our platinums. I mean, we are avid platinum hunters. and we want to get our money's worth. If we pay $200 for the game, I'm gonna get my $200 worth for a game. $10 to $1. I'm gonna get my money's worth of the game just because I want to make sure that I played 100% of it. So this is where we're at now. I think I'm about to be on my 41st platinum when I play Outlaws. I'm not doing that tonight. I played a little bit of it, and I'm tired as heck, and I'm ready for bed. So I'm gonna put
that's your 41st.
That would be my 41st one. So I'm at 40. You're definitely way higher than I'm at. If I'll give you some time.
I think Expedition just cracked. It's my 95th.
95th. We're almost at 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost at 100.
You gotta pick the wise one. So
I figured out.
I'll start off with my top 3. And once again, this is something we can always revisit, even at the end of the year, like how it's been so far. So for my top 3, the first one I have, in no particular order, just so I could clarify that, the Order 1886, which was a game that a lot of people hated at launch because
never played it.
It's a game that you could literally beat in 6 or 7 hours, but it was more of a cinematic game, and it dealt with werewolves and things like that, but mainly like the werewolves and that whole lore of just 1800s.
Any multiplayer or collectible trophies?
No, it was literally
straight story.
Great single player. Do this, get 3 kills with like a bow and arrow, 1 shot.
That's fun.
Get the collectible.
So it was very cinematic, very story driven.
It was very story driven. It was very cinematic, but once again, it was just really short. If you could get it on a PlayStation Store, I kid you not.
Yeah, I get platinum. I'm just saying.
No. It was literally like 7 hours, like the total for like the main story. It was not a long game.
Wow.
That's where I got a lot of hate. I don't think they're gonna make a sequel. They should, but like it was very cinematic based and very. I don't want to say slept on because it's kind of lame when you're doing a 7-hour story mode. But I platinumed that literally like a weekend. It was not long. It was just enjoyable to play with the gunfighting, the werewolves, and who you were hunting. So it was a nice twist in here and there. I don't remember it word for word, but I do. If I have flashbacks of it when I was playing it. And my second one is Resident Evil 2, the remake. Not because I'm just a Resident Evil fan, but when I was playing this during COVID, it was like the whole storyline of how COVID was with everything, the virus and so forth, and you're playing Resident Evil. It was so cool. It made you think like, yeah, it sounds like a real life thing. The gameplay for it was very enjoyable. The collectibles, going back to do the insane mode, which was literally insane because it was like the second you start, it was you were just bound for death. Like you already had Mr. X and like the liquors, which is
he was chasing you the whole time.
Dude, it was like no breaks. It was just straight. So it was like at times in the beginning of the game for 2, it was like, oh, you had to unlock the door. You had to do this. No, homeboy was chasing you. So you just had to keep on moving. And some of the hardest enemies were there. It was just like, Matt, I'll never forget. Oh, you open the doors, like 10 zombies already, and you don't even have a gun.
Did you had to play insane mode for the platinum?
Yeah, it was insane. Really, really insane. It was like I said, it was not easy. And of course, the puzzles that you had all got mixed up, so it was harder. So it was like, I had to look at it because like, I don't know.
And you had to do a lot of resource like management, huh?
Very resource management. Because at the end of the day, Resident Evil was never about just running and gunning. If you're doing that, you're playing the game wrong. I'm sorry to spoil it for you guys. So it's all about conserving the ammo. So now to go on to the final one, and everyone could attest for this, everybody. Marvel's Spider-Man 1. Not the second one. The first one, because it was such a game changer that you had to go through all of New York City and swing through the trophies. It was so enjoyable. I feel like so many people platinumed it because it was amazing to just swing around New York. We finally got a Spider-Man game that we all wanted and desired, and we got it delivered as beautiful as ever. And it was a phenomenal.
No, that was a beautiful platinum. Like that's such a great one on your top 3.
Yeah. Now let me hit me with your top 3, brother.
Well, because I've been talking about it for like the past few weeks, and I'm finally done with it. I'm gonna play it again though because I'm just not over it. Expedition 33, man. That I platinumed it yesterday, I think, the day before yesterday. beautiful game, man. Like the story is amazing, and dude, going back and playing New Game Plus after learning what you learned from the story, it's like it's. I know you don't really watch anime that much, right? But those who watch anime will know. If you ever watch Attack on Titan and you finish Attack on Titan from beginning to end, and then you rewatch it, there's a lot of things that's in the end of the story that they've shown you in the beginning, and you didn't even know that you've seen it yet. Like everything is in your face throughout the whole game.
You said Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah, Attack on Titan. That's like
I need to watch that.
That story too. There's things in your face that they tell you that you don't even know until like you get to the end. You're like you're just connecting all the pieces. Like that red string is there. Expedition 33, beautiful story. There's a lot of things in the story that they showed in the beginning that you didn't even see it until you realize afterwards. All the side quests, the hidden worlds, the music, of course, the ambience, the characters. Like only thing I disliked, which was challenging, was the gesture challenges. A pain doing the gesture challenges.
I could
tell.
Yeah.
Everything else, great, man. That Goldie, that's game of the year right there. I have no doubt about that. My second platinum that I hold dear sometimes, which was Astrobot.
I want to get that.
Astrobot, it's surprisingly fun. It's chill. Like PlayStation 5, when they like Sony, when they make games made for the console, they do it great. Like the haptics, the triggers, just like the music, the graphics, like they pushed the performance of the PS5 to where it has to be.
Game of the year too.
Yeah, Astrobot was beautiful, man. Like it was slept on. Like a lot of people that I personally know, like didn't really like give it a chance. They're like, oh, it's a kid's game. Yeah, it's a kid's game, but it's not that easy, man. Like it's the general story is easy, but if you want to do challenges, the challenges really get you. Like I remember the last platinum I needed was when you 100% everything, like you do all the secret worlds, you get all the characters, whatever. There's like a secret like trial run they have to do, and you like there's no checkpoint. So if you fail, you have to start all the way from the beginning, and the trial's like 5 minutes maybe. Dude, that thing tested me. Like it tests your patience a lot, and you have to be perfect, pinpoint in every single piece up to like legit the last second. Because like I've got to the last moment, failed, has to do it all over again. It tests you, but when you beat it, you feel good. You get all the characters. You see all the classics, all the classic PlayStation characters, console, a lot of stuff. So Astrobot, that's definitely up there. And then in my number 3 slot is Helldivers. Helldivers 2 to be exact. Like when that game came out, the cult fandom of Helldivers was insane. That game was fun. It was difficult. If you played not an early release, they made the game easier. But there had been a massive rework on the whole game, which it feels like a big expansion came out. Helldivers 2 though, not like a $60 price tag. It was like priced like $40. Wasn't a huge AAA company. Like it was a game made by people who love to make games and love stories of games. Like Helldivers, you go in and you just cause chaos, you know. And it was fun. It was hard, but like the moments you make with like your friends that you play with. Like I played nonstop with my cousins, and like some of my friends. And dude, like that game, it's great. It's a good one. And the platinum wasn't the easiest platinum, but it was great. It was
just enjoyable, I'm sure.
Very enjoyable. Yeah. So I would definitely put those 3 as of recent were like my favorite platinums I've gotten.
Yeah, and we definitely got like a whole year coming on up too. That there's definitely going to be more added to the
list.
But for right now, I feel like this was like on both sides solid. Especially yours. Yours is definitely more modern, as mine was very like nostalgic in a way. Cause it's been a few years for a number of these games, but we're looking to add on to the list, and I definitely want to do top 3 platinums like in the future that we hated, and I already that's gonna be that I can only think of one right now. I want to say
I have
I gotta like look through the list, but I just remember these 2. I mean, our list was just like, oh yeah, this was so enjoyable. Like,
I mean, honorable mention. I loved Elden Ring. That was a good one.
Honorable mentions. I want to say my honorable mentions, even though like they're on PlayStation, it was like the 100% on Steam was definitely going to be like Elden Ring and Sekiro. Honorable mention because I did 100%
Yeah.
Steam achievement, which is not the same. But those platinum is a different sound when you hear that trophy and the whole animation. So it's it's been great, and we got definitely a lot of work to definitely think about for not only the top 3 platinums that we don't like. We'll say that for another time, but we want to thank you guys so much for listening to us, watching us. We're truly thankful for all you guys and girls that support us. Keep the love going, keep the love flowing. And all I gotta say, Jules, is till next time.
Yeah, till next time. That was beautiful, by the way. I like that. Keep the love going, keep the love flowing. That was beautiful. I like that.
Oh, dude, it's
you deal with that.
It just came up. You wanna know why? 'Cause my eyes are barely open.
Dude, it's a late episode. It's
late episode. You're definitely gonna have some sunshine the next time. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, love you all. Thank you. Spread the love, and we'll show the love. Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.